A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone present here today. A very warm welcome to Old Passion Singapore, Malaysia Global. My name is Jeannie Tan, your host today. The mission of Old Passion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture mindset and leadership, preparing us to fulfill our big, bold, beautiful shared dream. And today we have Dr. Tunishai Ford, and she's going to help us maximize our potential. Here we go. So I hand it to you, Mabel.
Yes, as usual, though we know Dr. T very well, but because this recording will go around, I still need to introduce her, our coach or Passion Singapore Malaysia coach. Dr. Tunishai Ford from USA is the founder and CEO of Your Own Uniqueness Inc. And she is an international transformational speaker, life coach, empowerment trainer, teacher of life skills. She is the author of 4 books. I Miss the Hugs, but Not the Hurts, Taking Control of Your Life from the Inside Out, The Spirit in You. This is a comma in your life, not a period. So, Dr. T is going to share with us today. The title is How to Start Changing What's Not Working. So, Dr. T, once again, thank you for volunteering to come and coach Asia, coach us, and as the video go around, globally. So, thank you for touching our lives and empowering us. Platform is yours
Thank
now.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for all of you who have taken time out of your lives, your schedules to join me this, in the evening where you are, and the afternoon where you are, and this morning. So thank you so very much. And again, it's always a privilege to be with you all because you are my family. I love you guys. I really appreciate being on this platform. It's always been a joy. So getting back to what the topic in which Mabel introduced, how to start changing what's not working. Have you ever thought about that? How to change something that's not working? You heard the definition of insanity. What's insanity? Where you have something you want to do, you do the same thing that doesn't work, but yet you keep doing it, but it's not working. That's the definition of insanity. That's the saying, right? So we're going to break that. We're going to get out of that mode and find out ways that we can actually see change. And I'm going to call them building blocks. Lasting change begins with honest self awareness and self compassion. That's right, self awareness and self compassion. Because sometimes I think we're our own worst critics. We beat upon ourselves, so on and so forth. There's often one behavior that we stopped or start doing that will make a big difference in our lives. Think about that. Which behavior out there that you started or you stopped doing that can make a big difference? I want you to think about that. We can learn or lean on behavior changes, strategies to take small, intentional steps to help us change quickly. And this is what we want to do. If you're like most people, you tried at one point or another to change your behavior, likely with varying degrees of success. I understand that. Maybe you set out to reduce your screen time. Like if you're like me, I have problems with sleeping at night. But I have a very bad habit. I'm going to be very transparent with you. If a person has problems sleeping at night, what should they do, Dr. T? Turn your TV off. Stop scrolling on your phone. Yes, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty. So I thought about that. I said, wait a minute now. If I have a problem sleeping, why would I do things that continue to hinder me from sleeping? And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in that boat. So the point that I'm trying to make right now is if you know that there are items in your life or things in your life, habits, practices that are hindering you from being the best version of yourself, this is how Mabel always introduces me as being a life coach, then why do you continue to do the same thing? So right now we're going to look at blocks, building blocks that we can use to help us usher in those changes that we need to help us become the best version of ourselves. to become self-actualized, to fulfill our purpose, to live out our dreams confidently. So this is what we want to do right now. So those of you who are taking notes, this will be the place to start taking them. Start taking notes. But like I said before, you want to start with self-awareness. You are your own worst critic, and you are the one that actually can look at yourself, and you're the expert on yourself. You're the expert on yourself. If you're being honest with yourself, what is that behavior, if you stop doing, will make a difference in your life? I've asked you that earlier, but I want you to reflect on that. Be honest with yourself. This is self-awareness. If there's a behavior or two that you can stop or start that will help make a difference in your life, I want you to begin to think about that. As I'm going on with this topic, I want you to begin to think about that question. If there's a behavior or more that you can stop or start that will make a difference in your life, what would that be? What would help you grow? What would help you align with your values? What would add space and purpose to your life if you allow these things to stop or to start? I want you to begin to think about that. Or what is the no you are scared to say? There might be a no that you're scared to say, but it will make a big difference and a positive impact. So there we're going for right now. We're going to start on the building blocks that help us get to that place we want to get to. So number one, if you're taking notes, number one, building blocks of behavior change. Find your why. Find your why. This is the first building block. Get clear on what or why this change is needed. Why do you need to change? What is motivating you? What is out there? What are you doing that reinforces why you need to change? Because the intention, it really does make a difference. It matters. Change tends not to last if it isn't really something that you truly want. That's why I don't make New Year's resolutions. Because the beginning of the new year, you've been doing all the wrong things all year long, and then when the first of the year comes, now you're gonna make these major changes. I don't think so. So in other words, so number one, think about what if you want to change something. If something is not working for you, find your why. Why do you need to make these major changes? Some people may have health issues, maybe by changing their diet. Maybe for me, I know I like to eat a lot of sweets and bad carbs. And we already know that sweets are not good for you, bad carbs are not good for you. So I would say to you, I want to improve my health. What has to happen? Do you have to become a diabetic, get high blood pressure, become anemic? What has to happen to make you want to change something? Hopefully, it won't get to that point. Hopefully, you'll find your why, and when it comes down to eating or exercising and living healthy before it gets to that point. But if those things do come upon you, that would be your why, because I don't want to leave here prematurely. I want to make an impact in this world. I want to make a difference. I have children and grandchildren that I love, and I don't want to deprive them of my presence too soon. I know we have to leave here, but I don't want to leave here too soon. So that's my why. That would be your why. Maybe it might be financially. If you're someone that has an issue or has a problem with saving money, and you're always broke before the end of the month, your why would be, hey, I need to learn how to save. I need to find a way to invest that's comfortable for me, but still get me the results I need. You understand where I'm going with this? So find your why. That's the first building block to seeing real change. Finding your why. Finding that thing that will help you stay motivated to see the change come into your life. Number one, finding your why. Secondly, you want to start small. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And how do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. That's the cliche. How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. It's the same thing with your goals. One of the most common mistakes people make when approaching change is trying to do too much at once. There could be this tendency that we believe that if we take on this big old role at one it's an overhaul. It's an overall in our lives, and we feel like we're just being overwhelmed. Occasionally, that may work for some people. They go cold turkey. Some people can go cold turkey and they get the results that they want. But most of us, if we just take one small step at a time, and the key is to do it slow and be consistent and steady, This is the key. This is how we achieve the goal that we want to achieve, by taking small steps, taking one small step at a time. So, number two, you want to start small. Number one, again, is find your why. Number two is to start small. Number three, again, we're talking about change. We're talking about lasting change. We're talking about utilizing the building blocks of behavior change. Number three, if you're taking notes, be honest about your go-to excuses. What are the excuses that you always use for the reason that you have not changed? I want you to begin to think about that. Think of some of the things that you have not changed, that you want to change, and the excuses that you make. We all have familiar stories or points of justification that we tell ourselves that makes it easier to stay where we are. Oh, I can't go back to school. I'm too old. I can't get up real early in the morning because I'm not a morning person. I can't get up and go walking early in the morning when it's the best time for me because I'm not a morning person. I cannot lose the weight because I don't have a buddy system. I don't know what I'm doing. All kinds of excuses that we've used to stop us from doing the things we know we need to be doing. So therefore, you need to identify, write it down on a piece of paper, write down the excuses that you've been using for the reason why you have not started changing the things that you need to be changing. Write them down, look at them, and ask yourself: Are these excuses realistic? Are they really warranted, or am I just using these as a scapegoat not to do what I should be doing? You want to move forward. So if you want to move forward, take the excuses, knock those excuses out of the way, and say, "Listen, enough is enough. No more excuses. It's time for change. Therefore, these excuses, I'm not good enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. Don't have enough money. Don't have enough time." Those things need to come off the table. If you truly want to change, if you want to stop doing the same things, getting the same results, then you need to be honest about your go to excuses. So, number one, again, find your why. Number two, start small. When you find your why, start small with conquering those things that are hindering you. And thirdly, be honest about the excuses. Look at your excuses and you'll understand that they're not really warranted. Get rid of those excuses and move on. Number four, number four, set your environment up for success. Set your environment up for success. What do you mean by that, Dr. T? That means this. If, like myself, if you know that you're a person that has problems sleeping at night, maybe you're the person that has a TV in your room, and you find yourself when you go into your bedroom, you take your remote and you put the TV on, and there's the TV. As you're trying to sleep, there's the TV playing in the background. Now you know your mind. Those of you who are into science and just understanding being an adult, your mind cannot rest if it's having all these background noises. All these active rays going into your life, the lighting, all that stuff. All that makes an impact of your sleep habits. So what you may need to do is take the TV out of your room. That's creating an environment for your success. Take the TV out of your room. If you're a person who scrolls at night, I know most people they charge their phones at night. If you're that kind of person who likes to scroll, take the phone out of your bedroom and put it in another room while it's charging. Those are examples. And yours might be something totally different. But you want to create an environment. Maybe it's the poor eating habits. If you know, like one of the things that Tony does, and I tease her about that. She always tells me, she doesn't have a vehicle right now, but she always I'm glad I don't have a vehicle because if I had a vehicle, I'd be going to the store getting all the things I don't need to be eating. so therefore, she's creating an environment where she can't eat all those bad things because it's not in her house. So if you're one of those people, you know that you have bad eating habits, like it might be sweets, it might be drinking pop, or it might be eating those bad carbs, or it might be eating a lot of salty food. That means that you've got to create an environment by making sure those things don't come into your house. You're creating an environment for success. So those are just some examples of creating an environment for success. So number one, again, is to find your why, what's going to truly motivate you to do it. Start small. Doesn't have to be an overhaul. Be honest about your excuses. Okay? Look at the excuses that you've made up as to why you're not doing something And fourthly, set your environment up for success. Begin to put things in the environment or take things out that are hindering you for being successful and seeing the real changes. Number 4. Now, number 5. Now, there are 8 of them. I forgot to mention it to you. There are 8, so we're on number 5. Number 5, shift your identity. What does that mean, Dr. T? Shift your identity. One of the most powerful tools for lasting change is how we see ourselves. How do we see ourselves? We tend to act in alignment with who we believe we are. So if you believe that you're somebody that can lose the weight by cutting out the sweets and the bad carbs, you begin to visualize that, then you are that person. If you can begin to visualize and see yourself as being someone that doesn't suffer with insomnia because you're not scrolling, you're not watching the TV is not watching you, that causes your success. Begin to see and identify yourself being successful in completing these tasks and completing these building blocks that will usher in change for your life. Begin to I see that. Make that your identity. I am more than enough. I can do all things through Christ. I can do this. I am this. Begin to say positive affirmations. These will be the areas that you'll make the changes, but you need to begin to visualize it and see yourself doing them. Shift your identity. When you do that, that means those positive changes begin to show up. It becomes a reality in your life. It's not just in your dream basket. It's actually a reality. It's actually something that you're living out. So again, number 5, shift your identity. Number 1, find your why. Number 2, start small. Number 3, be honest about your go-to excuses. 4, set your environment up for success. And number 5, shift your identity. Begin to see yourself being that person that's doing the changing. There's no more excuses, not overwhelming yourself. You know your why. Number 6, if you're taking notes, number 6, find your support system. Find your support system. Don't be a lone ranger in this thing. That's just how important it is. Most of you know that Tony and I are trying to go to Israel in the winter, no, in November. And one of the challenges that we have, especially Tony, I don't mean to be picking on Tony, but I'm just using her. I'm pretty sure she won't mind. Is that she does a lot of work on the computer for the organization and for her own business, and it doesn't always warrant her to get out and walk and exercise like she should. So she has to get to a place where she works with me or others to go out and do some walking because there's going to be a lot of walking when we go to Israel. A lot of walking. We know that. So what she and I have done is that she's at her home. She does not live with me. So we'll get on the phone. This is what we're doing. She'll go on the phone. We'll go on the phone and we'll pick a certain time of the day. We'll say, okay, I'll say, Tony, I'm getting ready to go for a walk. And she'll say, okay, I'll join you. Although we're in different geographical locations, we're on the phone and we're encouraging each other to take a mile walk, a 2-mile walk, that type of thing. So she's not alone. She's being motivated because she knows she can hear my voice on the other end. We may be talking about pleasurable things. We may be talking about business, but whatever it is, she knows she has a buddy system. She knows she has somebody that's going to encourage her to walk. She knows she has somebody that's going to keep her on track because the goal is what? We want to go to Israel. The goal is to make sure that we have a stamina. So right now, although the time may not be there just allotted for that time, we're making the time. We're making the time to exercise. We're taking the time to build ourselves up, but we're not doing it alone. That might be the same thing if you have a bad eating habit. Have somebody that you're accountable to. Go shopping with somebody that's looking at what you're putting in your basket. You don't need those cookies, Dr. T. Put that cake back. You don't need that pie. And sometimes Tony will do that. We'll go shopping. And sometimes she lets me slip because she wants some of it too. But for the most part, she said, you don't need that. You don't need that. Put that back. So and that's your buddy system. You need someone to help you stay on track. You need someone to be accountable to. Change does not have to be a lone ranger event. You need a top toe. Have you a partner. Have somebody that's going to say, okay, you're going to be accountable to me. I'm accountable to you. I want to see you successful. Therefore, we're going to make sure that you do not engage in these habits. in these practices. So number 6, find your support system. Number 1, again, find your why. Number 2, start small. 3, be honest about your goal, your go-to excuses. Number 4, set your environment up for success. 5, shift your identity. And number 6, find your support system. Do you see what we're doing? These are the building blocks. These are the building blocks to success because we want to change. We don't want to keep exercising in insanity, trying to do the same thing that's not working and getting the same results, okay? Or trying to get different results, okay? So I hope that you all see where we're going with that. We're building block. We're using building blocks so that we can usher in success. Number 7, for those of you who are taking notes, number 7, practice self-compassion. That's right. If you really want change, because sometimes, like I stated earlier, we can be our own worst critic. We can be very hard on ourselves. You know how it is. You don't want to eat that donut. You're trying to really watch your sugar intake. You go to a breakfast, a continental breakfast. You know it's a continental breakfast, but you've got to be there. Maybe it's a seminar or workshop or a conference, and they're serving continental breakfast. You haven't eaten anything yet. You may have had your coffee, you may have had your tea, but you haven't eaten yet. Your stomach is growling. Wow, you can hear it's growling real loud. Everybody can hear it. So you go to the table, and all you see are muffins, donuts, croissants, things like bagels, all those things. And what do? You reach for one and you eat it. And then you go home, you go through the whole day feeling guilty. Wow, I was doing so good. I spent 13 days without eating any sweets. I didn't fall. I didn't mess up. And now I messed it up. I got to start all over again. And nobody's browbeating you but you. Yeah, I see your face, John. John said, I get you. I get you. You see what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't browbeat yourself. Just give yourself credit for what you've already done. Your body is not going to fall apart, I promise you, because you ate that bagel, because you ate that donut, because you had that piece, that muffin. It's not. Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind that you're a failure. All right? You got to begin to just heal that area. Say, listen, I'm making an effort. Talk kindly to yourself. Every day you wake up and you have a goal, look in the mirror and say, listen, today is the day. And even if I do mess up, I'm still okay. I'm still okay. I'm human. It might be based on mood. I'm the kind of person, I'm just being very transparent. I am a person, I'm very anxious. You all know I talk fast, so I'm very anxious about a lot of things. So I am what you would call an emotional eater. When I'm up, I eat. When I'm down, I eat. I eat, so I have to work on those things. So I have to, every time I get a success, I celebrate that. Look, I did it. I went to bed tonight. I didn't have any late night snacking. After 6 o'clock, I didn't eat anything. I had my water and everything. I did good. Pat myself on the back. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Don't browbeat yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You're going to have successes. But remember, it has to be steady. It has to be consistent. You're taking small steps. Remember that. So again, number 7, you want to practice self-compassion. Number 1, you want to find your why. Secondly, you're starting small. Thirdly, you want to be honest about the excuses, your go-to excuses that you use. 4, set your environment up for success. Number 5, shift your identity. Number 6, find your support system. And number 7, practice self-compassion. Love on yourself, even when you fall, even when you know you blew it. It's not always your fault. Sometimes circumstances put you in a situation where you cannot always control the action. But when the action is not what you wanted, don't mess yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. It's going to be okay. Exercise and practice self-compassion. And last but not least, you already know it's coming. Celebrate those small wins. Celebrate those small wins. Number 8. That's what I just talked about. If you're that person that blew it by eating that donut and that bagel on that 14th day, think about the 13 days that you didn't fall. Think about the 13 days that you did it all just right. Think about the days that you took the phone and you took it to another room and you didn't scroll. Or the times that you did not look at the TV because you moved it out of your room. Therefore, you didn't miss it. You went to bed at a decent time so your body can wind down. Think about those times. Think about the times that you put something aside that you were trying to save. Maybe it wasn't consistent in your savings because something came up unexpectedly. But look at all the times that you put something aside to save. Those are the small wins. I know a lot of times we as human beings, we want to celebrate the big victories. We want to give ourselves a big hooray for the big things. But we need to learn how to celebrate those small wins too. Celebrate those small wins also. So if you want to really change, if you really want to see changing, and if it's not working for you, begin to incorporate these building blocks. Begin to incorporate the changes that are going to be lasting. Begin to incorporate these building blocks that are going to help you get to success. And let me do a recap of what we just shared. I've been going along all along, but I want you to see the buildup. I want you to see how these building blocks could be applicable to your everyday life and the things that you're trying to accomplish. Again, number one, finding your why. Find the reason what will make you stay motivated to stay in the game and accomplish your goal. Start small. Rome wasn't built in a day. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, don't overwhelm yourself. Take one consistent step at a time. Number three, be honest about your go to excuses. Look at the excuses that you always have as to why you can't accomplish something and begin to knock those excuses down one by one, especially if they're not warranted. Number four, set your environment up for success. Take things out of the environment, put things in that are going to help you succeed in what you're trying to change. Number five, shift your identity. Begin to visualize yourself as being that person that you want to be, seeing that change that you want to accomplish. Number six, find your support system. You don't have to do it alone. You're not a lone ranger. Every superhero has a sidekick. Every superhero has someone they can rely on, someone they're accountable to. Do that. Find someone that has your best interest at heart, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, whatever it may be, but get a support system. Number seven, practice self compassion. Don't browbeat yourself because you messed up one time. You're human. It's not going to always be perfect, but it's going to be okay. And then, lastly but not least, celebrate the small wins. Think about all the times in your journey that you did it right. Think about all the time that it was successful and you got to your goal and you're still working on your goal. Celebrate your wins. And when you begin to use these building blocks, when you begin to execute these building blocks, you'll see the change in your life that you're working on, and get rid of those things that are not working and begin to use these building blocks to become the person that you've always intended to be. My name is Dr. T, and thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Dr. T. As usual, I like the building blocks, how you describe them. Tony!
Good evening, everyone. And as usual, Dr. T, excellent, excellent, excellent. And yes, um, I mean, while you were presenting and bringing all of this, because I would be the number one person to have an excuse for not doing what I'm supposed to be doing and all of that. And I told her one of my biggest problems is food, because I grew up loving the taste of food even as a baby. It's like flavor just bursts, and it just bursts, and all of the sensations and things just go off. And so I
All of
can,
us,
yeah.
all of us too, yeah. Food.
And yes, I normally, when I go shopping, I will, if my I love ice cream on occasion. Chips is the biggest thing, anything salty. And
Mhm.
so what I'll do is I'll buy the big bag of chips, my favorite, and at the beginning of the month, and when it's gone, it's gone. I do
Okay.
not go, I try not to go and buy another bag, and so I thought about when you had said celebrate the small victories, and not always successful, but I try to remember, okay, I went 5 days without eating a whole entire big family-sized bag of chips,
Oh Lord.
and or I went these many days in doing the right things, you know, and even in sometimes feeling overwhelmed in work, and Tio go, work on the things that really matter now. What is due now? Take care of that thing now. And she is always centering me in that. And so
Mm.
when we and I promise not to be any longer, but recently I was doing a LLC for one of my clients, and it took almost 2 months. And I was trying to figure it out because he's in Georgia, and it was the first time doing one outside of Michigan. And so I'm thinking at first, oh, it's gonna be bam, snap, 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 I'm done. And I kept running into this and that and what they want and what I had to do and all this. And I became so frustrated. And at one point, I was just ready to give the guy back his money and say, "You figure it out." But when I was able, when God showed me how to do the thing, and I heard Dr. T's voice, take your time. Take your time. Go the extra mile, and take small steps, and all of that, as she had mentioned here. Um, Everything worked out, and I was just so full of gratitude. It was the big win for me to be able to complete a project first time, and be able to move on, feeling victorious. And so everything that you spoke, Dr. T, was a right on, right on.
Mm.
Finding my why, because sometimes I'll just throw my hands up and say, can't do it, not gonna do it. And
Yes.
and she's the one to say, you can do this, Tony. You can do this, with a firm voice. You can do this. Now go do it. And so great presentation. Very encouraging, Bill, uplifting, and
Yeah.
all of that. And so I appreciate you, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I appreciate you. I look forward to you presenting, because I know I'm going to get some growth and encouragement and inspiration from it. So thank you, Dr. T.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next,
Okay,
we have Brother
John.
John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here. Hold on a second. Yep. Is my mic on? Yeah, it is. Okay. Hello. Yes. Thank you once again, Dr. T. It was a very good presentation. The thing, I always try to, I actually took notes, but I do always think about, I try to think of the one thing that I really can point to when I listen to you. But today I'd say, like, well, I do have one thing, but, it's the whole thing, starting with, like I say, self awareness to find your why. Well, uh, right at the top when you started, you mentioned my thing, or one thing that I'd need to work on, and that's like I have trouble sleeping. I've always had
Mhm.
trouble sleeping. I'm not a good
Mhm.
sleeper. I don't sleep long enough. I don't go to bed early enough. Anyway, so the thing that stuck out in my mind was that to work on this, one of the things is to have compassion for yourself. As I look at my notes here, because here's the thing: I am my own. You brought this up. Worst critic. That's the one point here in all these I would bring up now, because that's the thing I realize that in anything I'm trying to improve or change, or that isn't quite right, I'm my own worst critic. I'm just so hard on myself. And I'm not having much success lately. In fact, I've been thinking about the very thing we're talking about with lack of sleep, or you don't sleep well. It's not insomnia necessarily. I mean, I have a lot of responsibility for it because I just don't go to bed early enough, and I don't. I keep talking about, well, I'm going to get more sleep. I'm going to go to bed earlier, and I'm still like last night. I think I was up until like 3:30 in the morning, and I knew I had to get up for the meeting this morning. And I'm like, boy, oh, bro, you just can't seem to get it together to do some of these things. How hard is it to just go to bed a little earlier and try to relax, try to get things out of your mind? My thing is, my mind never seems to stop going when I'm trying to go to sleep. So that's something I really need to work on for sure. Well, I've been working on it. That's the trouble. So that's it. That's the thing I'm working on and thinking right now is that how can I actually get some more sleep, get to bed a little earlier, and get a little longer, good hours of sleep. I'm like not sleeping well, not really asleep. My mind's going all night. Anyway, I'm working on that. So thank you very much for your presentation, because it reminds me of what I need to work on. So
may I make a comment? May I make a comment, please, before the next person speaks? John, I know exactly where you are. I do. Because if you're anything like me, you are a creative person. And I don't know if this is it, because I really haven't analyzed that, but I know for me, if I may be transparent with all of you, I've been a lot of transparency. I've been doing a lot of confessing today. I need to stop doing that. Okay, anyway, I am an overthinker. Is that you, John? I'm always. It's like here we are here. I'm up there. Is that you, John? I'm way up there. Everybody's still back here, and I'm way up there. I'm trying to figure out what about this. How are we gonna do that? Oh my God! Just yesterday, I told Tony before we got off the phone. Tony, I need your help. I can't carry this all by myself. I need you all to come up with an idea. Come on, help me. Because my mind is racing and racing and racing. So when I go to bed, can you relate to this, John? When I go to bed, my body's trying to relax, and my mind is already trying to think about this and that and that. Like you said, it's not so much insomnia, it's your brain. It's your brain. Shut up, shut up, shut up. So what you may have to do, what I did last night, and I got a pretty good night's sleep. Take your little behind the bed early, even though you may say, I'm not going to go to sleep. Just lie down. Just lie down, John. 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Lie down. Don't do nothing. Just lay there. Be quiet. Turn the TV off. Take the phone out of the room and just lie down. And eventually, even if your body, you'll feel yourself breathing. You have a steady rhythm. And eventually, you'll fall asleep. Now, I still woke up early. I went to bed around 9:30, which is good for me. I woke up around 2 or something. But look at the hour. Look at the hours that I got to sleep, though. Got up around 2, went to use the bathroom, came back, and I went back to bed. I didn't stay up. I went back to bed. I made myself. And when I got up, I said, I felt so much better. I got up around 3:34, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I prayed. I did my morning prayer and everything. Then I went back to bed. And then the alarm went off. Tony called to make sure I was up. But do you see where I'm going with that? I had to deliberately make myself. I didn't use the excuses. I made myself go to bed earlier than I normally do. I turned the TV off. I went in my room. I laid down. And I didn't fall asleep right away, John. I didn't. But I heard myself breathing. I listened to my breathing. I concentrated on my breathing. And eventually, I fell asleep. I couldn't tell you when I went to sleep. But I felt so much better when I woke up. I know where you are. You're an overthinker. You're a creative person. And you carry all this stuff in your brain saying, shut me down, please shut me down. Don't think. Let it go. And another thing, don't stop worrying about what's going to happen in the future. One thing that Tony always tells me, this is what she always tells me, you worry about things that haven't even happened yet. And I know that. You think about things, you're creating problems that you haven't even faced them yet. Oh, what about this? What if that happens? What do we do if this happens? And like, wow. You might as well be on the right hand side of the left hand side of God. Like he needs your help. That's how you feel. So, John, I know where you are, and you and I both need to stop doing that because we're going to wear ourselves out. We're
Right.
creative people. We overthink things, but we've got to learn to shut it down because, like I say, God does not need our help. He
Mm.
got you. Just stay in the moment and go to sleep. Let him do the rest. That's my advice, John. We can do
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
We can do
Thank
it.
you. I'm working on it. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Me too. I just had to say that. I'm sorry. I had to say that.
Ah,
Okay. Who? Melanie? Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. T. Oh man, these are good steps to take. These are good pointers. And again, you said little at a time, one step at a time. And I always try to keep that in the back of my mind. I mean, we already know we were born unique. We were made unique. We have purpose, right? We are here. It's not just by mistake. We are here for a purpose. So, yeah, mistakes are allowed and things can happen and we pick up, we brush up like David did, right? He oiled his little horn and he took flight. He took off. He brushed up. He didn't just sit there. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
in life, we go down, we get up. We go down, we get up, and we just have to continue from there. One thing I always tell myself is nothing is gonna let me down.
Mm.
There you go.
Nothing is gonna keep me back. It will stagger for a while, it will keep me stagnant, but I don't stay there because this is life, it's a journey. It's step by step. And Dr. T, you're right. Give ourselves some little wins. Once in a while, like I always tell myself, I come first. And sometimes I forget
Mm-hmm.
myself. I think of others
Mm-hmm.
before me. So when I think
Mm-hmm.
of myself, I really remedy myself with something really nice. I put a praise on my own self because
Mm-hmm.
I am worth it, right? So
Yes.
social media is one of the biggest thing where everybody is, right? Family, friends, all over the world. So I will bring little things that will not just uplift me, but uplift other people, myself and others. That song,
Yes.
Amen. I keep
Yes.
that song on and on and on. It's like there's a tune to it, and it makes me
Yes.
feel pause and it makes me smile. So
Yes.
things like when we feel stagnant, things like when we feel, oh my God, I have so much to do, because just like you and John, and I'm sure others can convict to that, right? So sometimes these things can overwhelm you, especially when you feel you're getting older. You're trying at something, you try different ways, and it's still there. What's going on? And others are trying the same and they're forward. So I give myself that rest, and I would just sit and I say, Lord, you are the one. You go before me. You're with me. And I will walk the aisle of my apartment in the night, back and forth. And I'll be saying the prayers, prayers that will resonate with what I'm doing. And it helps. It helps. And as far as the sleep, I was like that. I was restless. Like 2 years ago, I felt like I was going in a deep. No joke. I felt that way because of the gloominess of the weather, plus everything that was happening at the time. And I felt like I was going down a little dark alley. So how I bring
Yes.
myself back is through tears, of course, as you pray, as you sing, lots of singing. I calm myself, and honestly, and it works. And a lot of water, we see water is flowing around and we neglect it, and sometimes I do. So what I did, I put an app on my phone. The app is more like a health monitor, but it's a health monitor for sleep. It tells you when to sleep. Mel, it's time to sleep. It actually tells me, Mel, it's time for water. So I would start smiling
Mm-hmm.
and I would pick up my little jug
I have
and I
that
say,
too.
yeah, it's true. You know,
Yeah, I
so
have that
so
too.
there are different little things that we can do. They might not seem important, but they are very important and they work. So, Dr.
Yes.
T, thank you very much for all you brought to us today, and I really appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Any more feedback?
Hello.
Yes.
Good
Dr. Doris.
morning, afternoon, evening to all of you. It's been a while.
Mm.
Thank God for life. We thank God for health. Actually, thank you, Dr. T. Uh, I'm so surprised most people are still ignorant about so many things, especially what you mentioned that attracts me. Is watching TV during the night. One ear will be sleeping, one ear will be listening. Very bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
I went to visit my cousin in a nursing home, elderly care home, and all of their rooms, everyone have television. Now they will on it. They will not sleep early. They will be watching, laughing, and when it's morning, they start sleeping. I say, no, you are cheating nature. Why should you be watching and sleeping? And they say they sleep. I say, okay, they like it. Some said if they are not watching and listening to it, they can't sleep. I say, okay. And they are not healthy. It's not helping them. All this boils up to discipline. Self-discipline will let you know when to do what. So we have to be aware. Most people do this, not even the aged home. Most people do
Yep.
it. Yes, which is a very bad habit. Even the radiation from the television directly on you is so dangerous. I have a
Mm.
card called the anti-radiation card I put on my phone and on television. When I tell them so they have been with it for long, it will not do anything. I say that is why you are not fit. You are
Mm.
sick and you have been on drugs for years. You are not getting healed, not getting well. Every day, pills. Some take 10, 9, 7, 5. The least is 4 or 3 a day. They are not getting healed. I say, look at you. We know you have been brainwashed that you can do anything, you take the pills after. And the pills are not helping. The pharmaceutical companies and the doctors are making money out of you people. When I started talking, came out to realize that what I'm saying is true. But actually, we can change it.
Mm.
So, people who have not started using pills on drugs, we should be careful about this type of
Mm.
lifestyle.
Mm.
Radiation is one of the sicknesses. It can
Mm-hmm.
give cancer
Okay.
and so many things. Thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Yeah.
We hope for the best always.
Yeah.
Pray for
Thank you,
life.
Dr. Doris. Yeah, yeah.
Amen.
Yep. Yvonne Flynn. Yes.
Yes, it's
Say
Finn.
something.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, Finn.
So I just want to go quickly with Dr. Tunishai's presentation, which is, to me, it's like auditing your life, isn't it? To see where you are, because you spoke about the topic is how to start changing what's not working. So you
Mm.
have to do an audit for that, right? It's as you said at the beginning, self-awareness, right? And so one of the biggest ones here is the excuses that people, all of us can make if when we don't want to make the changes that you are recommending or mentioning, the building blocks, right? I think that's what it is. And then I think we can just always find samples of people who had the same situations and overcame it. So those are ways I believe that you could use to bring yourself forward, to encourage yourself. Dr. Tunishai, are you there?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Mm.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The excuses will come because we're human and we always have those
Mm.
available to us. But the overcoming will also come because other people have faced those exact you know what it says, there's nothing new under the sun. There's always somebody who's overcome what we are trying to overcome. And yes, these are really quite clearly laid out building blocks. And as you said, they build one upon another. From the moment you decide that, honestly, look at yourself, the self-awareness, the self-reflection, from the minute you start doing that, you are now ready. I think that's what happens. You are now ready the minute you start doing that. It's just not working anymore, and I'm the only one who can change it, unless you're in prison somewhere, right? You are responsible for doing that. So this
Yeah.
is, it seems simple, but it's just what life is. It's so good. People change like by doing these things all the time. It should be written in everybody's home. You are
Yeah.
responsible for doing those things. Where are you at? Like those 12-step program. Which one are you at?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
self-reflection, self-awareness is where it starts. The minute it dawns on you that you can do something about it, you audit that life. Where what brought you here you don't need to be stuck there. You need to know what to change. That's basically what you're presenting to us. So I want to thank you. Thank you very much. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So today's topic is how to start changing what's not working. And Dr. T has given us 8 building blocks for us to go through every day and see how we can improve ourselves. So Dr. T, help us close the night with your final statements. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again. I really do appreciate you all. Um, this topic has been really important to me. Like whenever I present topics to you all, I always tell you I am the first partaker. As you can see, I was very transparent with you all today and share some of the things that I struggle with because Dr. T is not perfect. I'm always learning and trying to grow. So my thoughts for tonight to leave you all with is, sometimes, should I say this? Something that's very remarkable about being human is that we have the capacity to change, everyone. We can change. We can grow and adapt. We can integrate new knowledge and ways of being, learn and unlearn, and build new patterns that keep us aligned with our values and support what we're working toward or forward. We have that capacity. We have the capacity to, like Miss Finn said, we have the capacity to change. We have to make choices that integrate changes into our lives. So, keeping that in mind, I shared with you all 8 building blocks. If we just take one step at a time, find that one area that we need to stop or start. Start right there. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just make it easy. Keep it simple, and begin to work on those areas. And I believe that we'll begin to see growth. We'll be able to see our purpose become in line with God's will. And most of all, we can live a satisfying life. We know that we're in a world with a lot of turmoil, a lot of things that are going on we don't quite understand, but we're in our end times. We know that. Those of us who are following Bible prophecy and understanding what God is doing in the earth. But it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's a good thing for those who believe. And I know we all believe. So since we all believe, we know that God wants us to live our best life now. The word of God tells us that the enemy, he's come to steal, to kill, and destroy. But he said, I have come to give you life in that more abundantly. And that more abundantly. And to live that abundant life, that means that we have to let go of those habits, those practices, those behaviors that hold us back, and begin to incorporate the building blocks that I just shared with you all so that we can stop living insanity, doing things that don't work and expecting them to work on something that we know we need to change. So keeping that in mind, keeping those things in mind, you'll begin to grow, you'll begin to evolve, and you'll begin to walk in your life's purpose. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone. And we'll see you again soon. When
Okay.
there's a meeting, I'll post it. Good night, good morning, good afternoon.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very
Good
much.
night,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.
Bye. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
Night.
everyone. Thank you, Dr. T.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Internet.
Bye,
See you, Brother
Jeannie.
D, Brother
Bye,
John,
Joanne. See you
Bye-bye.
soon.
Brother
Bye.
Sajid.
Yes, bye bye.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Dr.
Thank you
Doris,
all.
Dr.
It was
Debbie,
nice. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you,
See you later.
everyone.
Yeah.
Brother
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Ranjong.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless.
See you.
Yeah, good.